Afterwards, some strategic respondents were interviewed during the course of the fieldwork exercise, which includes the member of the host community and the officials working on the ecotourism site. This was done to acquire more information about the ecotourism site and to use the qualitative data collected to support the quantitative data. Afterwards, two sets of questionnaires were distributed to two subpopulations in the field for quality data. Proposing accidental sampling methods were used to meet respondents on the field as well, with the minimum expectation of 15 respondents per ecotourism site. From the questions, questionnaire administered to both the community and officials in the field. These are the information, some of the informations gathered for further analysis. For the community, some of the information gathered are the geographic location of the ecotourism site, the gender, merits of ecotourism to...
Sorry, next slide, please.
Then for the officials, some of the information gathered were the gender, the security situation of the ecotourism site, then monthly average income of the ecotourism site. These are some of the pictures taken while we were on the field. These pictures were taken to indicate the originality of the pictures and to augment the field measurement and questionnaires administered to respondents. Some of the location of the existing ecotourism site visited are represented on the map as points data. And here are the list of the ecotourism sites visited on the table. From the information gathered for both the community and the officials, we interpreted the data and transformed them into interactive visual representation by creating interactive dashboard using Tableau Expert. Afterwards, there was the suitability analysis as part of the method the last month to generate the potential ecotourism sites in each selected 13 states. And this project was mainly concerned on the natural and physical features of the study area, in the sense that natural areas with uniqueness attract ecotourism more. During the process of the site suitability, several criteria factors were considered, and the factors are land use, land cover, normalized different vegetation index, elevation, slope, distance to road, primary health care center, and police station. These criteria were based on expert opinion, field survey, and literature review. All of the 7 criteria factors were transformed to a common scale and reclassified. Then, ranks were given to each criteria according to their importance. Afterwards, weight was also assigned to each criteria to finally produce the potential ecotourism sites, suitability map for the potential ecotourism sites. And the class of suitability was based on the Food and Agricultural Organization guideline for land evaluation, which is suitability, moderately suitable, marginally suitable, and not suitable. The results from the method applied were represented in interactive dashboard, maps, tables, respectively. From the information gathered from the questionnaire survey for both community and officials of Jigawa, using the fabric desktop. For the Jigawa, through this interactive dashboard, more than 80% for the community were male, while 20% were female. This shows that women are not really involved in tourism in Nigeria. Then, 70% attested to the fact that ecotourism is of benefit to their communities, and 60% in Jigawa attested that security challenges are attributed to ecotourism in the state. And some of the ecotourism challenges identified were kidnapping, banditry, among others. For the official, we interviewed 4 officials, and 3 among the 4 officials were male, while we only have a female. Over 75% agreed that security, 50% of the officials agreed that security is part of the challenges faced by the ecotourism sites. Then their average income was between 0 to 1 million. From the summary of the interactive dashboard created, let me go back to the slide that speaks about the interactive dashboard. This interactive dashboard was repeatedly done for the whole 13 states, but because of time, we had to limit it to 1. And this represents all the other states that visited. So from the summary of all the interactive dashboard created using the fabric desktop, we discovered that, like I said, the women from the community, we only had few number of women then who participated in the tourism. Then most of, like 80% of the respondents from the community agreed that ecotourism is of importance to their communities, as it provides employment, provision of basic amenities, and so on. Then over 90% agreed that insecurity was a major challenge. Then for the officials, there are more female officials should be employed as to develop ecotourism in Nigeria. Then awareness of ecotourism is still through the means of brochures and traditional means. 90% of the ecotourism sites agreed that their monthly income generated is less than 1 million. Then awareness about the ecotourism sites. Potential ecotourism sites for the whole of the 13 states are represented here on the map of Nigeria. The deep green signifies the suitable areas. The lemon green signifies the moderately suitable, according to the Food and Agricultural Organization guidelines. Then the yellow signifies moderately, marginally suitable, while the red signifies not suitable. From the map here, 13 and the data gathered, 13% of the total land covered by the northern part, which represents the 7 states, is 13%, while the southern part and the southwest is 24%. 24% represents the area suitable for ecotourism. Then for the southeast, 28% represents area suitable for ecotourism. When we were on the field, we couldn't access some of the ecotourism sites due to security challenges and bad road. Then we also discovered that most of these ecotourism sites, they are in a very poor state. There is no awareness about where they are or information or data as of where all these ecotourism sites are. Recommendation: proper security measures should be put in place as to develop ecotourism in Nigeria. Then there should be more collaboration from community and officials as we get more information, more necessary information for the development of ecotourism in Nigeria. Then workshops like this and collaboration from relevant stakeholders should be encouraged. If ecotourism or tourism is being properly planned and funded, it has a huge potential for exponential growth in Nigeria. This slide will not be completed without acknowledging the organizers, the chairman main committee, and his team for making it possible for the second edition of the National Conference for Ecotourism. And here we have the National Park Service and the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, where while the project was on, we got data of the list of the existing ecotourism sites from there. Then NASDA collaborated with Nasarawa State University to identify some of the ecotourism sites in Abuja, Nasarawa, and Niger. And while the project was on, the DG of the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism got to know about it, and to that effect, meetings were held for collaboration and signing of MOU, which is still in the pipeline. These are we have some of our operational centers and laboratories here that also took part in the identification and booking of the coordinates of each ecotourism site in their respective states. Thank you.
Another round of applause. This is Alex-Onyeocha. Right? So again, before we take some questions, I want to recognize the presence of Dr. Halilu Shaba, who is the DG of NASDA, represented by Dr. Laide Aderoju, to give us a good overview. You're welcome, please. Come and say something nice for us before we go into our questions.
Good afternoon. I'm very delighted to be here.
Please, the mic.
So, representing DG NASDA, it's unfortunate that the DG couldn't be here because presently they are having Science and Tech Council meeting at the NASDA campus, and the Minister of Science and Tech is there with other DGs from the Department of Science and Tech. So from the DG, is always welcome. It's always welcoming senior energy from different organizations, and it's really proud because this ecotourism was also part of it at the initial stage, when Jumoke was really pushing for it. However, we have some challenges because on the paths of using climate change, we are trying to do trying to see the effect of climate change on the potential tourism sites in Nigeria, and also we are looking at different, because ecotourism generally is one source of income, especially in some countries whereby tourism is a major source of income, and Nigeria should not be left behind. So, in the notes of that, I congratulate you for hosting this event, and I hope to see more. And since the MOU, like you said, is in the pipeline, we hope the pipeline doesn't burst. And we hope it is being conveyed on time, because we have enough professionals. I think in NASDAQ, presently we have up to like 300 PhD with us. We have like 750 masters. I can see my colleague Professor is here. He's also part of the people that work in it. So NASDAQ is ready to collaborate, and not just NASDAQ and PAR, other people can also join. The municipalities also have these 9 days and have a good service whereby you can attract lots of people. There are so many beautiful places in Nigeria people don't know. And unfortunately, insecurity has contributed to drawbacks. We pray everything works well. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much again, Dr. Naike Aderoju. Alright, so I will go take questions, comments, observations for the paper that was presented, Mrs. Akiola Olaju. Alright, okay. Let me know all those who want up now. 1, 2, 3. Alright. That's all. It's 1, 2, 3. Alright. Your hand went up, sir? Okay. As my organ number 4.
Once again, DCP from the Shaka Multinational. I want to observe that in the research, 2 important states are missing. Adamawa and Taraba state are missing. You cannot talk about tourism in Nigeria without talking about Taraba state. Why? Because Taraba is the home of the Shaka International Park, the largest, most diverse conservation enclave in Nigeria. In fact, it's the host of the highest peak in Nigeria. There is nowhere in Nigeria you go and get a peak of 2,400 meters above sea level except in that area. Adamawa State, if you talk about Adamawa, in fact, Adamawa is the host of one World Heritage Center. That is the Supreme Board. So I think something is missing. If you are talking about tourism, ecotourism in Nigeria, but if you say it's regional, fine, no problem. Then it will be expanded. So, I think on the area of some ecotourism that are missing from the national park, maybe I didn't understand that word, but I think maybe the researcher does not contact the national park headquarters, because we at the park unit level, we always have our data intact. At the end of the day, we have our monthly report. We have our quarterly report, we have our annual report that contains the number of tourists that visit the park, our tourist site, everything about the park. We have intact data as at so I think the researcher also need to expand on the search for data. Thank you very much.
Just since it's on the table there, just...
My brother, in fact, as if he was in my mind, that's exactly what I was going to ask, because coincidentally, I'm from the Northeast, so yes, so what I wanted to ask he has already asked, so it's no point to repeating myself. I think that research should be expanded so that it will give us a clear picture. Because she said potential eco-tourism centers. So if it's a potential, he didn't mention some of these places. I think it was not good experience for this.
I'm glad the two speakers have spoken and found what I actually wanted to say. I'd like to say something here. I've gone around Nigeria more than 3 times. So when you come and you tell us some of the factors that militated against your research work in transportation, in security, it makes me just as you are the ground should just open and swallow me up. I agree that we have these challenges, but I beg your pardon. You can still go the extra mile. There's nothing like going the extra mile. When you were talking, I was just like wondering where you're coming from. We are all academicians. Like the young, the road safety officer said, Single Kingdom, World Heritage Site, and they didn't mention it. I don't understand. There are other sites too. They are accountable. We should learn to project the tourist destinations we have in Nigeria. I'm reading 4 books on tourism in Nigeria. I mean, national tourism portal. And you're telling the whole world you can access the sites? I know. It then means that actually people be worth. Please, we need to go the extra mile. Thank you.
Please be brief, sir. Very brief. Very brief.
The comment I want to pass on the research is good. But I feel that data, what they can do with the data is very obvious. There's something they call geotourism data. Like that data that can be translated to geotourism data. That's what Google is doing. But it's not so practical about what Google is doing. They are using their own for business. But we can do it in such a way that anybody that access, let me give an example of Abuja now. All the landmarks in Abuja should have Abuja to have a DPRS, like a kind of hub, it's not a city hub. And that when you're approaching ESDA, you know there's a planetarium there. When you are getting to this place, at least the government installations, everything around Abuja, I'm just using that example, can be, that thing will be the hub to make people create a lot of awareness. Hub can, city guide hub can create a lot of drive for tourism. That's what maybe NCDET, one of the federal government agencies can sponsor that kind of project.
Sorry, the last comment and observation.
Let me first of all thank the researcher. We know that part of the problems we have in Nigeria is data, particularly in ecotourism. So we must first encourage her and appreciate the little work she's done. It is very important. I also want to add that ecotourism, which Nigeria, like many African countries, relies heavily on this. Somebody has said here, ecotourism culture is a tourist culture. All those beautiful sights. Somebody mentioned Ashaka National Park and Mabila Park too, as it were, because you know that we find such sites anywhere else in West Africa. So it's important that we very seriously take little data that's available seriously. I want to appeal that because ecotourism is a mainstay tourism in Nigeria, like her agency that has started this research, please give us the data of visitors to ecotourism sites. Now that was missing in her research, and for us that's important. because we must know the traffic. We must know, if you visit a site. I was in Ghana, Kabul National Park in Ghana, and when I got to the information center, I was told that that park is expecting or projected that year they will receive 80,000 visitors. And I was there in July. In July, they already received 66,000. So it helps them build infrastructure. It helps them know how they stand in the market and how to reposition their destination. I think it is important that anywhere you go, let's know how many visitors and which countries they are coming from. So really, all of this information will be required. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, before one last person. Last.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much for your research. I've been really interested in that, particularly because I've been learning about GIS and its application in tourism. And I listened to your previous presentation. That's in the first edition. I think you did something similar to this and this too. And I've seen that you have made a lot of progress, but it appears your data is a little scanty. And therefore, some of the conclusions you drew, particularly the one on women not participating, it's began to give me concern in my mind. But you are a researcher, we are not in your mind, but from where I'm standing, I'm looking at it as data is not sufficient to draw that conclusion, and perhaps what is it you are looking at that made you draw such conclusion? Thank you very much.
Thank you all for your comments, observations, and sorry, I beg not to be crucified. Like I said, it's just the first phase of the project, and that is why we have come to present this. So for the areas of yes, for the reason why we have come to present this project is for expansion. Like what from National Park Service. Yes, before the commencement of this project, myself and one of my colleagues who is seated there, Mr. Sunila, we came to your agency or the service, the park, to get the list of all the national parks and existing ecotourism sites in Nigeria. But you said you don't have the list of all the existing ecotourism sites, that you can only give us for the national parks. Then we were referred to the Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation for other existing ecotourism sites, the list of other ecotourism sites in Nigeria. So we worked with the data we have. Like I said, with the project is just the first phase, and we need collaborations from other agencies to get more data for the expansion of the work. Then for the Adamawa and the Taraba, yes, it's just the first phase. We have not said it will cover the whole of Nigeria. So it's just the first phase, and we've only worked with 13 states. So, but with this, we can expand to other states. That is the reason why we have come to present the project. Thank you.
Sorry, you didn't answer this. Okay, thank you. Okay, you are one answer, so defend your territory.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want us to understand that this is just a pilot project. And when we were talking about geodata, remote sensing and GIS, we are not now able to start getting information about people visiting. You can only see the crowd. You see the crowd from space, seeing how people are flooding in and out. It's geospatial data is the one you get from using satellite remote sensing and all. But it's a non-special data is the one they come to the office to collect. So what we do is we try to match the two together. And this gentleman here, sir, talking about geotourism data. Yeah, we'll be doing our best, but you know, it's beyond just NASDAQ doing things, because we have other projects. We have food security and climate change and all. So we can't just focus on tourism. As a matter of fact, tourism is just one tiny aspect of natural resource management, which we are doing, and they were the one that promoted it. And so, to do that, if we get the national budget, that can help us do for Nigeria, we can't do it alone. Everybody has to go to the field. And most especially when we come to agencies to ask for data, like the kind of problem they had, I don't know, there's no synergy. People try to carry data. They're not the bad guys. We need your data for national development and for in-kind navigator for infrastructure mapping. For each have like an app to show you directions. You can't just focus on tourism. There are other things. So we've done a lot of things on green space, maybe through the channel of climate change and all. And so we've been doing a lot of things. Not being able to see Adamawa. Traveling to Adamawa, you said insecurity. We won't risk our lives and our staff there. We need them. They are experts, so we need them to focus on other things too. So for the future, it will be covered. And I can tell you that if you can sit down, have a meeting, everybody should come to the table and take the share of the tea, and it's going to be a good thing that everybody works together. Thank you.
Just to add to things, and we need to defend ourselves. So the whole aim of creating the dashboard is that it will be available for everyone. If you see or you have additional information, you can plug in and update this information. So that's the whole aim of having this interactive dashboard. And we are talking about Adamawa. There's as much as we can cover. That's what we're there. So if you identify something, come online, it's going to be published, it's going to be available to the public. And give us information. Part of the reasons why we have limited number of officials is that we're going to some of these sites and they're refusing to give us information. You know, you meet some people, they say no, it's not in our culture or in our religion to talk to you, but we must carry out this research, and that's why we have limitations in the study. We pointed out, we should show the scope of the study. 13 states, not 36 states and FCT, clearly written. So what we are here to do now is, this is what we have done. This is how far we have gone. How can we meet with various stakeholders to take this to the next level? So I'm not coming here to show this is the best data. That's why you do research. There's no best research. You show what you can do, and then other people come together to say you can make your research better for criticism. So you are here to critique our work, which we wanted. Now we want you to participate and collaborate with us. When we come to your organization, we don't want you to send us out. We want you to give us the data because you know what we are doing with the data. Thank you very much.
So what you're doing, you don't want to do the dirty job. You want us to
No,
do the
sorry, I'll tell you that. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that we'll go to the field, but every other person has to be part of this project. NASA has its mandate. We're doing so many things. This is under natural resource management. This is just a little component, ecotourism. Our core focus is agri. We're doing a lot of stuff on precision agriculture. In fact, NASA just came to our office last week because we're doing stuff. So we have a lot. The Ministry of Agriculture is collaborating with us. We have European Union. We have a meeting tomorrow with them because we want to do something on greenhouse and all that. So we have many projects. So what we are doing is, when we present this, we need various stakeholders to say, okay, you know what, this was not right, we don't think you should have done this like that. Then don't stop there, show us what to do. Don't just criticize us. Okay, what next? Okay, we have identified this is what we could do in 6 months. What you have been doing in over 30 years, show us what to do. Thank you.
For defending your territory. Well done.
Let me say a few words, particularly in response to the kind of things I have heard from the last speaker. Well, I think first, the organization is better placed to do this, much more than any other organization. To describe tourism as a tiny bit of natural resource conservation is to say that the priorities are not really right. As a country, we must learn to have our priorities right. I appreciate the difficulties that you encounter in the course of getting all of this. And honestly, you are right to say that you've done the little you can. Other stakeholders should see how best you can key in and ensure that this has progressed and is successful. Because whether we like it or not, this industry will not grow that time. And as far as I'm concerned, you have planned it. You see the most that can agriculture is important. But please let it not take the place of tourism, particularly ecotourism. I've said here, and of course, most countries are not living on agriculture, they're even living on tourism. In Africa, we are not saying that agriculture is not important, it's very important. But please, for those who have routes to the market, they probably did not understand what ecotourism means. So the orientation you may have is that ecotourism, one tiny part of in an ecotourism conference is somehow. I think we rather appreciate the difficulties, and we also have accepted the call from stakeholders to come in and help out. Thank you.
Thank you. You can see that we too are passionate about our territory, but we are not just one time. Alright, but on a serious note, one problem I know in Nigeria is, one, we don't want to collect data. Two, when we collect data, we don't want to share it. Right? I've done a lot of research. There was one day I went and spent hours in National Bureau of Statistics looking for data. I didn't see. And I said, okay, let me even go to individual offices. They will throw you from here to there, to there, to there. I can appreciate your difficulties because all of us, we're going to tell the truth, we have faced it at one point or the other. If National Park wants information from road safety, wahala. Maybe you will have changed, but honestly, data is troublesome in Nigeria, and we cannot move forward without data. We can't move forward without data. So let's collaborate and help ourselves. Thank you, National Space Research and Development Agency. We'll quickly take paper 3, very quickly. Medical tourism in Nigeria. How far, how well? And it will be handled by Mr. Usman Isa. Okay, well, I know I saw this. I didn't see you again. Please, happily welcome Mr. Usman Isa to take the third case.
Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, everybody. My name is Usman Isa. I'm one of the renowned medical tourism country or in Africa. I'm here to talk about medical tourism in Nigeria or Africa. How far, how well? Some months ago, I had a conversation with one of the secretary to Nigeria Medical Association, telling him about my upcoming event about medical tourism. To my greatest surprise, he said, if it has to do with encouraging medical tourism, I should count him out. And I was shocked. Initially, I thought he was a colleague, but to my greatest surprise, I was shocked. And I said, if a medical doctor can sound this way, means there's a serious challenge confronting medical tourism in Africa, in Nigeria. A lot of us have heard of medical tourism. Many of us have heard thoughts of medical tourism. And some that have heard don't have right. Many people that have heard of medical tourism don't have the right knowledge of medical tourism. The reason why I say so is not far-fetched. If you ask any Nigerians, especially our medical personnel and those at the helms of affairs, about their understanding of medical tourism, they will simply say, medical tourism is all about traveling abroad for medical treatments. The real concept of medical tourism, what is the medical tourism, by the way? Medical tourism simply means traveling from where one is residing or where one is living to another location in order to obtain quality medical treatments. It does not mean traveling abroad alone. Medical tourism is divided into three. We have intrabound medical tourism, we have inbound, and we have outbound medical tourism. When we talk of intrabound medical tourism is also known as domestic medical tourism. And it has to do with traveling within the country one is residing in order to obtain quality medical treatments. It may be from one local government to another, or from one area council to another, or from one state to another. Or from one state to another. Then it can mean people coming from their own country to your country. I'm talking of inbound now. Maybe people coming from their own country to your country to receive medical treatment. And we have outbound medical tourism. Outbound medical tourism has to do with traveling abroad or travel overseas in order to obtain quality medical treatments. It may be from one country to another or from one continent to another. For example, we have a destination that is well known in Africa, which is Egypt. If you are moving from Nigeria to Egypt for medical treatment, you are still within Africa continent. But by the time you are moving from Nigeria to a country like India, means you are going outside Africa continent. So, for the purpose of this lesson, and because of limited time, we are going to go through the challenges of medical tourism in Africa or in Nigeria. You know, there is no smoke without fire. If you ask any Nigerian why people travel abroad for medical treatment, they will simply say, because we don't have good hospitals, we don't have facilities, we don't have doctors, we have shortage of doctors. Is that the reason? Even though it's the reason, it's not the enough reason. So we have 7 driving factors for medical treatment. I mean the reasons why people travel for medical treatment. The number 1 is availability of treatments. Where a patient is residing, what the patient is suffering from, if he or she cannot find solution within where the patient is residing, he can move to another location to obtain treatment. For example, you are in Amak area council, based in Amak, and you are having breast cancer, and you look around in Abaji, within the Amak, there is no center that can offer solution to the breast cancer. And you feel you can go to Abuja Teaching Hospital and the treatment is available there. You can move from here to Kodada and University of Abuja Teaching Hospital to obtain treatment there. It's within even Abuja. So what you do is embark on medical tourism. So it does not mean where you travel abroad. Then, two, we have affordability of treatments. The treatments can be available, but the cost of treatment may be high. So because if you are sick, and you see that the treatment is available where you are residing, and you see that you cannot pay for the cost, the bill. So what you do for where the treatment is available and affordable to go and get it. Then we have accessibility of treatments. The treatment may be available, it may be affordable, and it may not be accessible. What I mean by accessible, I'm talking of waiting time to proceed. That's why you go to some hospital to receive treatment, especially public hospital. They will tell you that you should go and come in 2 weeks' time. And they will give an appointment for a month to come and see the doctor. So if you have your money, will you going to stay? You go to where the treatment is available and accessible to go and get it, either within the country or outside the country. Then we have acceptability of treatment. The treatment may be available, affordable, accessible, and it may not be acceptable. So where a patient is residing, there are some countries you go today, organ transplant is not allowed. And even though organ transplant is allowed, they don't allow third-party donor. You know what I mean by third-party donor? Is your family relation. Like look at the case of Ifremadu. I think the organ of that boy is compatible with the daughter. They have donated. But if you go to a country like India, you cannot bring anybody that is not bearing the same surname with you that they are allowed to donate kidney. Then we have poor success rates. I tell you, Nigerians, we need some of our doctors, we can handle all cases. There are no cases we cannot handle in Nigeria. Even though you can handle it, what is the success rate? You handle maybe you do a surgery, 20 surgery, maybe hardly 12 or 13 survive. So if you as a patient and hear this kind of story, will you go to that kind of center to go and seek treatment? The answer is no, because life has no replacement. So you can't play with your life. You go to where there is higher success rate and go and obtain the treatment. Then another one is attitude of medical personnel towards patients. Attitude of medical personnel towards patients. If you go to some of you have gone to some of the mostly public hospitals in Nigeria, if you look at the way some of the healthcare workers are treating patients at times, there's nothing to write home about. At times, even their talks at times that can even make the case of the patient worse. At times, some illness even irritate them, then you go with your father and then that person, you call enough to come and attend to you. At times, even they will approach you or the way they talk to you. So in this case, if you have your money, won't you go to where they will treat you with care, with respect? You go to where, because they are paying for the service. The service is not free. Then trust. Trust is equal to number one in Nigeria. That is why you see those that they don't affairs. They don't want to receive treatments in Nigeria because of trust. Maybe a senator goes to one center to receive treatment today. Everybody will know, you understand, that the senator is also cancer, like the CK primer, that the kidneys, the organ is compatible. Nobody man in here, as the news is everywhere, they will not do it recordedly and come back. Hello? So I think the organ is compatible, nobody will have. But if it's Nigeria, even though it's compatible, but if you don't know if it is drug, you understand that is the problem. They will tell you person that don't have experience to go and change the fuel pump. If you change the fuel pump,
The problem is still there. They say you should change wire. You change wire, the problem is still there. Maybe until you meet people that have the experience, go and change plug. Immediately you change the plug, the car will become normal. So, that is a challenge we are having in Nigeria health sector. And what is the way forward? What is the way forward? If you look at now, the case of, recently, our, those are National Assembly, I don't know what their name, I think those are National Assembly, you should know. Those in National Assembly, they came up with, want to make a new law, that if you are a medical graduate, you must, a medical graduate, fresh graduate, you must serve this country for at least 5 years before they will give them license, because a full license. So now, you think is a solution? Yeah, is it a solution? No, it's not a solution, because good number of medical personnel that are relocating from Nigeria, they are not using employment visa. Some of them use study visas to go. Some of them use VCT. When they go, they try how to normalize their stay. They get a job there and normalize their stay. And by the way, who even regard Nigerian license abroad? Who? Yeah? Who regard Nigerian medical license abroad? If you go to a country like UK, if you say you are a graduate, or you can drive or whatever your area of specialization, they will put you to test. Once you are good, and they try you, okay, can you operate computer? Okay, come and take computer. Okay, do this. We want you to design a website within 2 hours. You design, perfectly, let's see. You get it. They don't really regard certificate the way we honor certificate. And that is what we are back of, because we are not so much value to certificate. True or false? True. And that is why you see, I'm sorry to say this, many good number of students going to school now, they are not after knowledge, they are after certificate. So Nigeria is in full of illiterate. There are some graduates that cannot even read. Right for them, they cannot. If they write application. They told me something last time I shocked. They said a graduate came to collect certificate. They say write original certificate collected by you. Let me summarize everything. So the only way forward now is one thing, is by introducing interbound and inbound medical tourism in Nigeria. It will address all the health challenges we are having in Nigeria. You may ask how, even this brain drain. Introduction of domestic medical tourism in Nigeria will make our local healthcare service provider to sit up, to start improving in their careers and in their facilities. And any local healthcare service provider that is not ready to improve should be ready to lose his or her patient to the serious ones. Because if I ask some of our local healthcare service providers, some doctors that I know, they will say, Mr. Osman, tell foreign investors they should come. We don't have good. Who tell you that we don't have good hospitals in Nigeria? There are many good hospitals in Nigeria. Okay, maybe some of you may shock that it's against ethics for medical practitioners or a doctor or nurses to advertise. So you may have good hospitals or good doctors close to your house. You may not know. There are many good. Now, the reason why I say there are many good doctors in Nigeria. What happened during? Who can remind me what happened during COVID? tourism in Nigeria without our local healthcare service provider without our those at the helms of affairs provide the living environment for them. Let's start from issue of power supply. Who's supposed to make us get stable power supply? Is it me or you? It's government. It's government. And lack of stable power supply has caused a serious damage and it's a serious problem in Nigeria, especially the Nigeria health sector. There are times person is seriously sick, go to hospital, they diagnose the patient, they say they cannot find anything. And the machine, some machine they use that time is a new machine. Maybe the light one way or the other might affect the machine. But the operator of the machine may not even know that the machine is not working normal again. And they'll keep on using that machine to diagnose people. The machine is clean, it's new. You see the machine, you come to hospital as a patient, you'll be happy. But maybe the machine is not working well again because of lack of stable power supply. So government has to provide a enabling environment, and even our medical personnel that are located abroad is even to our advantage. If what government, we don't need much things to turn Nigeria to medical tourism destination. Since the whole world, you go to UK, US, Canada, Germany, Thailand, Singapore, you will find Nigerian medical doctors there, giving their hospitals good name. Giving their hospitals good name. All we need to do is we have that. There are some people when you meet them, they want to come back, but what they are hearing from Nigeria every day, there's nothing to write them about. When you go on social media, what is trending now is how woman will dress naked. We have a lot of good things in Nigeria, but we're not promoting them. Is that woman will dress up naked, paint her face, put her bum on, be shaking. Or the woman in class daily will remove the shirt with small, maybe brassiere, and stand like this with the belly. Keep the shoe on one side, be checking the belly. If you are on social media, especially on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. There are a lot of good things in Nigeria we are not promoting. You understand? There are a lot of good things, but only see other countries. See, if you want to get it right, if there's any way they can regulate, you understand, we won't go to social media, we will get it right. So there are a lot to talk, but Madam is giving me signal. Madam is giving me signal. So, that is all. So maybe some other time then.
Sorry, sir, he's working with my time. So I'm sure you have questions. So I'll give him time to answer questions. So maybe from there you will use style and finish because it's time that is enough.
So questions, please.
So questions, please. Before that, please let's give him a huge round of applause. He has highlighted some of the issues why Nigeria is going to be difficult for now to be a medical tourism destination. Now, even if your own leader can fly out of the country, you say it's having teeth problem. Now, so they talk. Now, today I hear So, if the leader does not trust his own medical services, is it me, the average man, that will trust him? All right.
I'm sure that the impressions we have about will just be orthodox. I think that I have not seen in Nigeria traditional medical hospital, because when we talk about inbound tourists, it means that visitors have left their country, residents, to your own country. They are different from domestic tourists. They have left. As they come in, the activities in Nigeria become inbound tourists. Now, the question is, I don't know, is there any one person that has left his country to Nigeria as an inbound medical tourist? Is it possible? I think that it is important we have our own person, because if you go to some countries, particularly the Asian tigers, they have their own medicine. They have their own oriental medicine. It's not tied towards the medicine in Europe. They get well. And we know that Asians seem to have more, they live longer than even Europeans. Yet their own medicine is not like the ones you find in Europe. They have their own peculiar medicine. We are Africans, and we are herbs with so much. We in the national park, you know, our parks contain plants that are of huge medicinal value. For instance, if you see a plant that if you cut the leaf, the exudate that comes from the leaf is red. It means that that plant has potency to cure anemia. If you see a plant that has maybe the fruit that has the shape of a heart, it is used in curing heart disease. Even if you see the leaves that has the shape, it is used in curing heart disease. Creation is so complete. For even those with fertility issues, for men, particularly those who have, there are also plants that, I mean, the way they look have been used by the natives, by the locals to cure those problems. There's so many, in fact, there's no ailments that you will not have a cure beside this. So I want to recommend that as we think of medical tourism, we should try to be unique in our own. Thank you very much.
Okay, so no, normally we take all the questions and comments before everything. So I'm just going to give room for, I've seen one hand, two, then my own hand is number 3. I know because me, I'm very much interested in this one.
Thank you very much. Sorry I wasn't inside the presentation, but I want to time on Nasdaq. In Asia, for example, they use cannabis. They give you an option. If you want
How do you use this? You don't need cannabis.
weed. We use weed oil, weed extract, and they don't smoke. They just use the extract to, and it's done in lots of food. In Philippines, in some countries allow it. I know Russia doesn't allow it. But I've seen a friend of mine way back during the study days in Europe. He brings it around and cures so many things. What I'm trying to say is this: in NASDAQ, we have, because most of our projects we have study groups, just like 4 people study groups, so whatever comes out will be fine. And that's what we develop to concept notes, even all the way to the domain of so we have a study group looking at herbal maps, mapping herbal maps using spectral signature, because our thing is just using satellite images to look at it wherever it comes. The spectral signature is what we want to build so that we can use, depending on the phenology anyway. So I can tell you that in parks or even on the roadside, there are lots of different kinds of herbs I would see. And one thing about it, the spectral reflectance of herbs is just like your thumbprint. No leaf have the same spectral signature, never before. So you're able to map that. We are trying to do that. We went with the NIPRI, or I don't know what you call it. We signed MOU with them. when it's time to do something big, everybody starts taking a step back. So I agree with him. Like Nigeria now, for me, if I'm NDLA, I don't want to be ahead, sorry, I won't go on. I'd rather try to provide that one industry. Let's go. Thank you.
Mrs. Edito, this problem you just narrated now, they are great problems. I don't know how we are going to tackle them, especially all these challenges. I went to hospital one time. I met a very young lady. She just asked me, said, "Madam, what is it?" I told her all the things that are happening. The next thing I saw, she took her phone and started browsing. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm trying to get to prescribe drugs for you." She was a mess. I just looked at her. She just finished writing. She was writing, take this, take that, take that. After that, I said, "Okay, thank you." I took that prescription. I didn't buy the drugs. I just thought I went to another hospital. It's very, very difficult. I don't know how we're going to address all these issues. So how do we do it?
Okay, I'm the last person. So any of once me I ask my own, nobody. Let's go.
I am Urban Rosemary of the Cross River National Park. I want to still encourage us as in respect to the herbal drugs. As in for Cross River National Park, there is this very unique plant called the Ancestocladus chloropensis and Cronus africana, which has been certified for the cure of HIV/AIDS. So I want to
sorry, apart from the botanical name, what is it called in Nigeria?
No, for now I know about the botanical name. So I would like to encourage that at least we encourage the Ministry of Health to see how they will improve and develop on these drugs, and as much as advertising them both internationally for them to realize that we have good potentials in our national parks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We have imported Chinese medicine into Nigeria.